Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Marcie Besecker, an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. Thank you for joining me this Wednesday evening. My regular time on Wednesdays is 5:30 and on Sundays at 6 o'clock. So thank you for joining me. Hi Melanie, hi Marcia, how are you? So I hope your guys' day has been going well. It kind of went quick for me today, but I was doing a lot of cutting and prepping and stuff, so I really am having fun with this card. So I wanted to show you some different ideas I have and then how I created it. So I wanted to also remind you that April Bingo is open for registration. That will be open, I believe it is April the 6th. I need a few days to get the kits ready and get them ready for you. The April class is Irresistible Blooms. And it started out with purchase a suite. The class can be free or equal value. Now we're kind of leaning towards equal value because there's a few things of the suite that are out of stock. But they will be back in. This class is not until April 20th, so you have plenty of time. And the items will be coming back. Here is a sneak peek of some of the items. I will be doing 4 cards and 1 3D item. So you will get 5 projects. So there it says right there, 4 cards, 1 3D project. So it's going to be a really fun class. So I hope you'll join for that. And of course, here is my host code for the month. You can always find that at the bottom of my current videos in the description. There's actually a link that will take you right to my store. And the host code is included in that link. So you don't have to worry about copying it and carrying it over if you are within, the current month. I usually switch over like the last day or so of the month, just because timing wise, it kind of works out for me to get my last order in, get that order shipped off, and then create my code and get it ready for the following month. And of course, it depends on what's new, what's coming, all that good stuff. And we have a lot of new things coming. So hello, hi Carrie, welcome from Arkansas. Hi Carol, hi Debbie, hi Dawn, Kathy, Deborah from Australia. Do you know that not until I went to Australia that I didn't know that koala bears were not koala bears, they're just koalas. I know that now. Hi Nicole from Perth. Hi Carolyn, how are you? So yeah, so when I hear somebody say koala bears, I go, they are not koala bears. They are just koalas. You don't call lions lion bears, right? So hello, hi Hilda, how are you? So right now it's an interesting time because right now we are getting to the end of our catalog. So right now I'm thinking, okay, there's stamp sets I still want to use that I haven't used yet, of course. And now more importantly, there's a lot of paper that is going to retire that I have. And I just love the in color paper. I love the 4x4 packages of paper. I had a bunch. This is all I have left, but I did have a whole lot of it, but I made cards earlier in the year with these papers here. And this is the in color paper. All right, so all of the in colors are in one package and they all have patterns. This year's pattern was a plaid and a polka dot. That's on one side. These are all plaid and polka dot because that's what I'm using today. But then you've got some floral like that. On one side is floral. And then there's like these squiggly lines, I think, on the other side. Let me see. That I could show you that I'll still be using these. So they're like these little squiggle lines in there. And so I have a bit of it still left. So I thought, ooh, I want to make up some cards with this because I love these colors, number one. But I wanted to create a bunch of cards with it because it's going to be going out of stock. So next year's in colors, the new ones, will be coming for demonstrators in April. We're going to actually get to see the catalog next week. So if you're interested in joining, now is a fantastic time because you'll get to see the catalog early. April 2nd, you'll get to order the catalog. But if you're a customer, it will be in May. Okay, so May is when you can order as a customer. So you're going to start seeing us creating with some new items to kind of give you sneak peeks on what's coming up. I'll do an unboxing, of course, and I will be doing a paper share. So as soon as I can see the catalog and figure it out, I'll have a better idea of what's going on with that. But just know I will be doing one. So not only are we now at the point where I want to use up some of the stuff I have, because I always end up with a lot of paper, a lot of extra things. I will also be putting things into my store on my blog for sale, because I have a lot of stuff that I'm going to be getting rid of. I try not to keep too many items. There are some that I do keep because I know I'll use them either for my grandchildren or the guys in the family or the girls in the family. Thank you, Tashana. So I try to put everything in there, and I sell them pretty darn cheap. So I need the space in my room for the new stuff, and so I will start putting things out there. I will post on my blog when I update my store. So if there's items in there for sale that you're interested in, you can let me know now, but I'm also going to be adding some really, really soon. Hopefully in the next week, because I still have the holiday catalog items that I haven't added in there yet. So I want to make sure I add, you know, more items in there and, you know, start updating that more often. So thank you, Carolyn. I love unboxing. It's so much fun because I wait. What I do is I open up my box and I sort it. So I put all my sweet stuff together. So each sweet's together, each bundle is together, but I don't open it up and start looking at it. Sometimes I try to get my plastic pouches ready, and if they're labeled ahead of time, I'll open the paper and slide it in, but I don't look at it. I do it when we go through. That's why my unboxings take so long, because I want to look at it too. So we have a lot of fun with that. So let's get busy. I've got a bunch of stuff prepped for this video, but we're also going to just kind of look at some different ideas and different things. So I love the geranium set. So this is potted geraniums. Now we don't know if this set's staying or going. Hi Sandy, where are you from in California? I always feel silly asking that because if you're on before, I ask you. I know I do, but my memory is like the size of a pea. So just curious where you're at. So I don't know if this set's staying or not. I believe this was new in the last catalog, but I really like the sentiments. I like the little notes you can put, you know, on your little sign. What I like about these cards are, it just says just for you. And that's how I'm going to leave them, because I can open them up and I can add in here, happy birthday, congratulations, you know, whatever, you know, hope you're feeling better soon. You know, I can add anything I want to, but the just for you is just simple and nice. And really it's a plant, not flowers. I mean, it has flowers at the top, but I mean, I think this could be a masculine, you know, get well card. And maybe don't put the flowers, maybe add another plant behind it to make it a taller plant and take off the flowers, and, you know, maybe cut these little buds off if you want, or, you know, I think there's some different things that you can do that will, that you can make it look a little more masculine. And so these gems here, I got them from, oh, where did I get them from? I just had them out and now they're disappeared. Oh, here we go. They are the iridescent pastel gems. So I used the light one, the little ones from here. But these, these two, I used the last year's in color, because these are going to be just little notes to have if I need to send something out. It doesn't have to be current. It doesn't have to be anything. These people are not, you know, probably going to be stampers, and not that they matter, because stampers don't care. They just like getting a card, right? So I think this would be great to just do a little, oh, thank you for thinking of me, or whatever. I'm in Fresno. Now I'm in Clovis, Sandy. That's awesome. So for those of you that don't know, Clovis and Fresno are like a street away from each other. It's like the very next town. So anyway, So that's what I decided to do, is try to use up some of my product that I already have. And so I am going to, we're going to create one that's like this, but we're going to use a little bit of a different color. You see I use soft succulent here. So what I've done already, and then of course in the background here, I used one of the new 3D basic folders. And so I just love this, you know, this texture back there. Kind of looks like a quilt sort of, but it's just kind of gives it a lot of information, I think. So a lot of information, a lot of depth and texture. So we'll just put those aside so you can kind of see a little bit of them there. And we're just going to get ready and get started with some stamping. I'm going to use this because I can put a half a sheet of paper in my die cut machine, no problem. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to do our leaves first. So what you're going to notice is I have a lot of colors here. And we're going to use all of these. So this, let me take out the Highland Heather, Crumb Cake, the Soft Suede. These are all of the in colors that are leaving. I absolutely love them. Oh, I'm going to say one more thing really quick. Right now is the time to order. If you want any of these in colors, paper, anything, some of them are probably sold out already or low inventory. They will be leaving because they're going to be gone. Our new catalog is going to come out. We're going to see it next week, PDF for demonstrators. And people are going to start getting their re-inkers and their markers and their alcohol markers and whatever they want before they're gone, and customers will too. So keep that in mind. All of the in colors of this set is going to be gone. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I tell you that and that I don't forget. Okay, so we're going to use all of these colors. We are going to use Soft Suede and Crumb Cake and nothing, Highland Heather. So these are all the ones we're going to be using. But right now we're going to do our leaves. And so I'm trying to do as much of in colors as I can. You can see that this one I did a little bit different because it's more of kind of a masculine kind of look. So I did Soft Suede card. I did Mossy Meadow in the background, and this is Old Olive and Mossy Meadow, same as what I did here. And then this is red in the middle, real red, and then the outside is Stamped Off One Time Poppy Parade, because this is the geraniums that we had were this color, more of a Poppy Parade red kind of color. So that's why this was my first one I did. And then I decided to try the in colors with the Poppy Parade. And then I was like, ooh, in colors. And that's when I started going over to the other cards. So we'll take a look at these two. All right, so what we're going to do first is our leaves. I like to do dark first. All right, so multiple reasons, but the dark, I like to do the outline. So we're going to get a good inking of that, and let's just put that right there. All right, and I'm just going to slide those back up because I'm going to wipe them off later. All right, so that is Evening Evergreen. And now we're going to use Soft Succulent. So you have 3 on top, 2 on the bottom. That's what you're going to want here. 3 on top, 2 on the bottom. Okay, so it's going to go right over. Now what you're going to do is, I tried different methods. You're going to want to have your grid sheet or scrap paper near you, but not for this leaf. I decided I liked it full strength. So because it's a fairly light color, so I'm just going to line up. There's a little slit right there, and then this corner here, and then that edge. Those are the 3 spots I look at, and I'm trying not to get my head in your way. Okay, and then so I just want to make sure that I stamp straight down. And see how pretty that comes out? So that's with Soft Succulent, so there's no need to stamp off with that. It is light enough, I think, to look great. So there we go. Now we're going to bring in our flowers. And with the flowers, I do the dark first. So let's do, I did Polished Pink. We're not going to do the purples this time, so I'm going to move those aside. I did that when I did this one. There we go. All right, so we're going to do polished pink. And a little tip that I like is I like to put, especially if I'm doing a lot of them, I like to add my silicone mat because it kind of holds your ink pad a little so it doesn't slide around. If you don't have that, sometimes, you know, when you're trying to stamp and your ink pad's just scooting away on you. So let's do that. We're going to do our polished pink. I'm going to get them super inky, so I just like to move it around. And we're going to set those right there. Okay, so those are nice and dark. And now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take off, we're going to stamp off our pink just once. I just stamp it off, and then I come back over, and it's really hard to see, but there's little tiny circles that go in the middle of the flowers. And so you just have to move this around to where you look, and you can try and line up your circles, and then that way you can see those pretty little, let me see if I can get up closer, those little flowers. Okay, and really if you look at the stamp, and as long as you're on the outside of everything, that's fine too. It'll stamp just fine. So either look for the little circles. There's, let me get my little pokey tool here. There's circles right here and here in the middle of the flowers, and there's 4 right here. So you can kind of get them in the middle, or just make sure you look all the way around and it's pretty even. It'll be fine. All right, so there's your flower. And now we're going to do with soft succulent, we are going to do our pot. So of course I like to do the dark first. And I've mentioned before, the dark first to me, and this isn't the perfect example, but when you have your other piece on top of it, when you have the dark on the bottom, it's just a lot easier. I'm going to come in a little bit. It's just a lot easier to see when you have the dark on the bottom, because we're going to take this and we're going to stamp it off. And then we're going to come in and see how light it is, and you can see it. So you just want to line it up. And what you're looking for is the side of your bucket has little indentions, and then you want to look at the bottom and then the little indentions right there. And then that is your bucket. All right, so we have our leaves, our flowers, our bucket. Now we need our little sign. I did the first one in crushed curry. This one here. I did crushed curry because I just wanted something to kind of pop so you can see it. But since I was switching colors, I decided let's go with the pale papaya. I would love to find arrangement A, wreath, build, retirement. Oh, let me write that down so I can look. Arrangement A, wreath. Oh, arrange A, oh, wreath. Okay. I'll look for it, Rosemary. Rosemary Schmidt. Okay, I'll look. Okay, so we did that. Now we need our little sign. So let's just take our papaya. Oh, here's a little secret. Whatever color I did the flowers in is what I'm going to do the words. It was easier to do the words first. So just take your words and put them down. Okay, so just for you. Then take your, I'm going to wipe this off. Now let me show you what happened. I pressed kind of hard so the ink went in the center. So I'm going to take that off. Okay. All right, let's just stamp that, get the wet off. Now I'm going to lightly stamp on here so I don't get the center. Okay, lightly. And now look, I can see my words really easy, right? So I'm just going to put this right on here and go down. And you can still do it if you do it like this, and then you come back in with your words. There's just a little secret, as it seems for me anyway, I was always stamping to the right. So you can see it, you just kind of have to keep, you know, think about where you're stamping, and See how that's like a little bit too high for me because you're running into the little flower image up there. So you got to really think about where you're going down, and then I always tend to go to the right, which I did on this one too. So this is just so much easier. Do your words first and then do your sign. It was just a lot easier for me. All right, then there's one other thing we need to do with our crumb cake. And that is, we need our little dirt. So here's your, so this is what we did. And I like how Stampin' Up! Does their cases, because these are flowers, these are the pot, and then these are the flowers. They try, or the leaves, they try to put everything kind of in a group so you can kind of tell. And then we're just going to put our little bit of dirt. Okay? And if you wanted to do your bucket a different color, then you want to make sure that that way your dirt will pop out a little bit more. So see right here, like you can see the dirt, but I made this, you know, kind of the same. Like if you wanted to stamp off maybe Cajun Craze and make it look a little more of a, what is that pot called? Now all of a sudden it just escapes me. You know what I mean? The orangey, cementy kind of pot. Oh gosh, the word gone. Anyway, you could do that too, I think, and that would look kind of cool. All right, what I like about this die set too is, oh, you do, Rosemary, it's really nice. What I like about this die set is it also has a tag. This is also, you could just cut out your pot and then add this on top right here. So you don't, this has that look of, you know, the different layers and a terracotta. Thank you, Carrie. It's exactly what I was thinking of. So I think if you use like Cajun Craze or maybe Calypso Orange together, I mean, you could kind of probably come up with something. But you can cut out different items and create your own leaves and your own layered flowers. So you can make it really with die cuts or with stamping. Because I was doing a bunch of them, I just decided I'm going to do it this way. But look at the stamp sets too. Thank you, Smile Friend, just for you. Birthdays are reminders that life should be celebrated. I kept thinking the other day, birthdays are reminding that. I'm like, that makes no sense. Anyway, you got to read it right. Reaching out with friendship and care and caring. Wishing you happiness today and always. For the lifetime of love you've given me. And here for you every step of the way. So this is a really great inspirational set too. All right, so here we go. All that I cut out, we have our leaves, our flowers, our dirt. We've even got dimensional backings in my bucket. We have a sign and we have our pot. All right, so I'm going to show you how I put it together. All right. You know, one of the things I should have done to see if this was even ready, returned from the shower. I do too. The inbuilt shading, yeah, I love it, love it, love it. I love the two-step, these two. It's just such a nice set. Okay, so the first thing I did, these are two different browns, but they do look really close together. So if you choose to do a different color pot or something, like I said, I think that's a good idea. But I did a little bit of glue, like so little, right across the bottom, because we're going to use dimensionals to put this on our project. I just wanted to kind of put it together, to hold it together and put it in place that I wanted it. I thought it would be easier than trying to do it all by dimensionals. All right, so we're just going to glue that and leave that right there for right now. We're going to take our leaves. You're going to put glue on the top of the, now this is a regular leaf, and then these are just the little buds are down, but when you put this on here like that, it looks like the buds are down, but the flowers are going up. So you want to put this here. It's such a fun set, and it's so easy. And then we're just going to lay our flowers right there. Okay, so now we have these gluing and this gluing. This should be dry enough. Now what I did, let me move this facing me a little bit. There we go. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of glue here, not a whole lot. Remember, we're going to be doing dimensionals. This is really just to kind of hold it in spot for us. I'm going to put this like this. I want the leaf to go in the front. So I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to turn it. Okay, so then I have my finger in the back holding. I want this to come up just a little bit. I don't want this hanging down in front of the dirt. I want it to hang, but this in the front is fine with me. Now, same thing with this, except we're going to add a little dimensional on the back. One right in the middle. I just put a mini one. Then I'm going to turn this over and put a little bit of glue right here. Again, just enough to hold it. This dimensional is going to hold this. I'm going to slide this down. Okay, my flower is going to fall off because my hand's stuck. I'm going to angle it. Okay, I still want to see the leaf underneath there. And I want to stick my little stick out right there. If you want to stick it out more to the side or whatever, do whatever you want. But now this is ready, so I'm going to add my dimensionals. It's still a little wet. It can dry while I did one little one right there, and I do add quite a few here. Just because there's so many little pieces, I want to make sure it all stays stuck together. So I made, I think there's 35 of these cards. I just used whatever DSP I had left for the 4 by 5 1/4. The piece behind it. So I'll write that all down in just a second, so you can have that. A lot of people ask me about the envelope card I did too, and I will be doing another one, and I'll put all the measurements on my blog. I said them during the last video that I did with that card, but it's just going to be easier if I write down the measurements. Okay, so this is the scallop piece with that embossed on it. All right, so now we're going to take all this off. You know what else I thought this pot would be good for is the new tropical leaf. And here you have this nice pot that you can put it in. All right, there we go. Now you're going to lift it up, and I'm just going to put this straight. I want it to semi go in the middle. I'm going to put it right on the bottom on the dotted line, like that's my ground right there. Because this isn't really a scene, I don't feel like I need dirt and all that down here at the bottom. But if you wanted to do it as an outside plant, you could take that little dirt and add more, you know, on your image. All right, so this piece here is, see the polka dots, how cute are those? 4 by 5 1/4. This one is, I've been really stuck on this size, by 5 3/8. All right, and then the same with the inside. So normally I do the inside first, but I didn't, so let's do that now. So same thing, I'm going to write this in pencil being that it's on white. So this is same thing, 4 by 5 1/4. And then this one is the same, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Okay, so let's add some adhesive to our little strip. Now, when you cut your DSP down, if you're wanting to use up your DSP like I am, you're going to cut this 4 by 5 1/4, and then you're going to end up with this piece. Okay, so you're going to have this, and then when you cut this 4 by 5 1/4, you get your 3/4 left over. Okay, so look, that's one piece of paper. Now you could take this and use a whole different card and do, what I would do is do a landscape card. That way you can cut the bottom piece off and have the inside. And then this one, you could, you know, add at the bottom or do whatever you wanted, but you have a whole bunch more cards to do with that. All right. All right, so we'll just put this right here. Oh, ah, not right there. Right here. Let's see. All right, so you can tell that I went in a little bit too much right there. Don't try and pull it up. What we're going to do is we are going to add, oh look, I switched it out to the evening evergreen like at the last second. So let's bring in our evening evergreen. This is, again, when you cut these down, you're going to get these little strips too. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to fix that. Do not try to pull it up. Let's, again, I like to lay this down and then just kind of make a little dent right there so you know where you need your glue to go. Okay. And then we're going to lay that right here. Just finish our card. I got a message the other day from a lady that said, oh my gosh, I never even thought to do that. Now I do that with all my cards. So, I mean, I didn't do it for a long time either. Then all of a sudden I was like, why don't I do that? Because it just kind of finishes it off nicely, right? All right, so this one is just a little bit of white. You are not going to be able to tell. I would use a guillotine if you have it. And I'm just going to bring it in just like the slightest. You can even bring that down. And this is how much that I took off. You don't even notice. All right, but now you don't have that white, because once you add that to the dark color, you're going to see that white right there, and I didn't want that. So I'm picky like that, but it's not that big of a deal, obviously, but it is to me. So I'm going to just take it off. I will not waste my paper and do another piece of white paper, because that's just crazy. I'd rather just cut this down a sliver and nobody will even know. It's our secret. All right, so there we go. So now we'll put this on the inside. Marcie, such wonderful directions. Marcie, you are over the top with the presentation. As a teacher myself, I certainly appreciate this sequence in the way would you. Oh, thank you, Rosemary. I appreciate that very much. All right. So we're going to go right in here. Just get that as straight as you can. Okay, so this one I didn't push it down. So I want to pull my right side down just a sliver. There we go. Much better. All right, so there's that. Now we have these two pieces, and we're going to adhere them together. Super simple card, especially for mass production. If you have a bunch of these, and like I said, I like the sentiment being just for you, because you can switch that out and add whatever you want in the inside to make it be a thank you, thinking of you, get well, happy birthday, you know, whatever. Even you can add it with a little gift. Make a little note card ones. This would fit on a little note card, and see if it was like, you know, this big, and make a little note card, and same thing, add, you know, put it inside a gift. It would be really cute too. All right. My paper fairy came by yesterday and dropped off a bunch of paper she cut for me, so thank goodness, because I have like a shelf next to me that has like, oh, let me see, it has two of these stacks on it, and then the bottom one's a little bit smaller, and I had like this much left. And so when she came over the other day, she's like, oh, you want me to cut some paper for you? And I was like, oh, please. So I'm all happy now because I have tons of paper. And when I told her how much I had left, she's like, but I just did a bunch. I go, I know. All right, so because it's bigger, I like to put a couple in the middle. And then we'll just put some on the sides. And then I could add some here if you felt the need. And what I would do is I would just cut these two right here and just add that there and this right there. I just don't like it to cave in. Oh, and somebody had asked me how my diet was going. It's going just fine. So far I'm down 17.4, and yes, I claim every point whatever there is. I'm taking credit for every ounce. So thank you for asking. Black layer is such an accent, but I like to die cut out the inner section to use for other cards. Oh, this one's Evening Evergreen, but yes, you definitely could do that, Peggy. I do the same thing. A lot of times I mostly do it on specialty paper. I'm going to use the little ones again. I use it mostly on specialty paper. I will cut those out. I have no problem. I do know people that don't like to do that, and it depends, but for the most part, I do that. Let's put that there. But on regular cardstock, I tend not to do it. All right. And now I also have the other current ones that I'll use once I run out of those. But there we go. Oh, I forgot one thing. So then what I did is I took some of the linen thread, and I'm going to fold this in half. Fold it in half. And you can kind of see, how much you need. And then I do like a bow. You could either do a regular bow or you could do bunny ears. Bunny ears kind of gives you an idea how much you need. You kind of get a good idea. And so let's just, and I'm not very good at bunny ears. I was just going to show you if you want to double up. I like to do my regular bow, but I wanted to show you if you don't have a bow maker. I'm sure this is probably how a lot of people do it, but make your bunny ears, which I'm not good at, by the way. This isn't my regular bow, And then get your bunny ears in there and pull it. And then you have a loop right here, which you're going to be cutting, okay? And then you have your ends there. So just pull them, get the bow where you want it. And this one is grab this side and bring it even with this one. Okay, and then I'm going to pull those a little bit more. And now you have a cute little bow. I'm going to tighten it up. And now I cut this, and then I cut this. And now you can cut it the length you want it. And I don't want it too long. So we're just going to cut like that. And instead of a glue dot, I added just a little dot of glue because I don't want this thing to go anywhere. And I'm just going to put it right on there and hold it for a second. Okay, so here you go. The different ones. So this one I did it with the Evening Evergreen. This one I did with Soft Succulent. And this one I used with the Fresh Freesia, and I used Highland Heather on the inside. When I used Fresh Freesia twice, it didn't really come out that great. You really couldn't see the difference, even if I stamped off one. And when I used the grape, Gorgeous Grape, it was way too dark, and it just seemed like it bled, like it just looked like a big purple glob. And so I like to see the little bit of the different, the definition in the flowers. But how cute is that? And you can just add a little something in there if you want, or just have little note cards. I think this would be a really fun set to do like a little gift to somebody, and just have different colors, and then just give them, a little package of cards, and they can use them for whatever. And they're not too girlish. They're not too masculine. Here are the other two that I did if you're coming in late. We can get rid of that one. We got the So I'm going to start doing some in color ones because I have, let's see, 35 is all I have left. But I am going to add some soft succulent and some evening evergreen in the background here too. And I may change up the pot color to make this a little brighter. I don't know. Not sure yet. I may even make some of them just plants. Do not flowers, and just add a couple plants with a darker color. Maybe have a couple masculine cards on hand. So that's kind of my thought in using up some of your DSP that you want to make room for your new stuff. Oh, I'm glad you guys like it. I would really appreciate a thumbs up if you can, if you enjoyed my video. It helps my channel so much. I would appreciate it. They're all beautiful. I have the set, but haven't used it yet. Oh, you'll have to. You know, Mary, what I like to do is sometimes if I'm not in the mood for stamping, like I'll pull something out like this and just stamp. Like if I'm not in the mood for creating, I'll just pull something out like this and just stamp like 2 sheets of pages of leaves. And then like I'll do 2, then when I'm done with that, I'll count how many I have. And then I go, okay, now I need flowers. And then I'll go and I'll just start, you know, doing some flowers and picking out the colors you want and, you know, what you're going to choose for your card or what it might be for. And then put them together later. Because sometimes there's a lot of sets. Oh, you guys can't see, but on my, well, my logo's in the way, but let me see if I can hide my logo here real quick. So on my stamp sets, there we go. I have little green dots like this. That means I've used this stamp set before. So if I use it, I put a little green dot on it because right now the end of the catalog's coming and now I want to know how many sets didn't I use or what should I start using now because I haven't used it yet. And then this kind of gives me an idea of what either people have asked for or what I want to create with. And so I like to just kind of have, my upline and I both kind of came up with this and said, you know, so I think she has pink dots and I did the teal color. I need to try that, Marcie, because there are days I have no inspiration. Oh yeah, Debbie, for sure. Just, you know, pick something out. If you know something's coming up or you want to have thank you notes on hand or whatever, even if you're stamping a bunch of thank yous and get a punch out, just punch them and put them aside. Or even if, like I had these for something I did for Christmas, I made extra. So I have just a note on my scallops and then I have thank you. And so I just have these in case, you know, I need something and I have some ready. And then of course I have a whole bucket of stuff that, like here's the Valentine stuff that I had, hearts. Here's leaves from the new set, the Irresistible Blooms. And I just have a lot of different things over here just kind of set aside in case I'm like, oh, I need a flower, or oh, I wish I had some leaves. Sometimes I'll just do a bunch of stamping of green or alcoholing on a piece of paper or whatever, something I can just easily die cut out. Baby wipe technique. Take several colors of green on a baby wipe and just brush them across paper. Make sure it's either a watercolor paper or you're just doing small sections. You don't want to make them really wet because they'll get all wobbly. But then once they're dried and you put them away, you might need some leaves or some green, you know, then it's easy, you just cut them out. Oh, I don't know about that, Nicole. I'm not that organized, but I try to be. I have visions of being organized, but nope, not so much. This from here to here behind me, not so bad. But I have a lot of places to organize. I just need to get organized, especially now at the end of the catalog. You'll start seeing things disappear back here because I'm getting ready, and I still have some holiday paper back there. I still have I have the mini, well, most of the holidays out there, I should say. The mini papers in there, the celebration, or celebration paper still there I need to pull. So it's constantly, you know, cleaning the old out, getting ready for the new. I need to make all my labels for all my dies like this. And then I pull out the dies, I put them in a little card pouch, and I seal them up and put them in with the stamp set, so when I sell them, people can get the dies too, and I don't forget. Oh, Rosemary, thank you so much, and thanks for watching. Make sure you go to my blog, Rosemary. It's marciebeseckerdesigns.com, because I do have classes in person sometimes. I am not going to for the next 2 months, but I do have classes in person, so it would be fun to have you. Oh, thank you, Marcia. I try. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Saturday is my grandson's first t-ball game. Here he is in his little cuteness. So he's getting ready there, trying on his outfit. That's his last year stuff, but him and Dad were hitting balls, so they were practicing. But he has his first game on Saturday, so we're excited to go. Oh, let me turn my logo back on here so I don't forget. Oh, perfect, Rosemary. And then my Facebook page is Marcie Besecker Designs. So if you look for that, I put a lot of updates on there too. And that's for everybody, of course. All right, everybody, thanks for sharing. Thank you for the thumbs up. I will see you on Sunday. Have a great rest of your week. Bye, everybody.